Aloha and welcome everyone to another episode of Living in Hawaii. Today we're going to be talking about Hawaiian time. Yes, it's a phrase that you may have heard, but you really need to understand what it means to you, to us, and to all of us here on the islands. We're very grateful that you're here today to learn about this important phrase. It's actually more than just a word or a phrase. It's a cultural way of living. So we want to dig deeper into this and give you an opportunity to really see what it's all about and what it means. So for now, we're going to introduce Danielle Harris. And Danielle, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Aloha, I am from Maui, here in the beautiful Maui Ne. And I'm not sure what else you want to know.
No,
Hawaiian,
just introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hawaiian time is a very unique, special, loving aspect of us.
True. And we also have Miss Chelsea in the corner. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Aloha, I am Chelsea Fernandez, born and raised on the Big Island and living on Maui now for over 20 years.
Wow. Thank you for being here. You both are going to have great information for us. And then Miss Lonnie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Lonnie Mercado, born and raised on Oahu and a resident of the Big Island, Southside for the past 20 plus years as well.
And I am Kara Crimmins. I am originally from a small town near Buffalo, New York, who now lives in Maui. So we have a couple perspectives. If you see here, we have people that have lived on the islands their whole lives and a transplant. So we have an opportunity to see things from different perspectives. And that really helps you, the listeners, to understand all sides of this beautiful dynamic that calls us Ohana. So we're going to dig in a little bit. I wanted to just start with an explanation of what it seems that Hawaiian time means, and then we'll go into each person and ask what it means to you. So Hawaiian time is a phrase that holds more than just an idea of being late. It's a cultural code, an energy, the way of being, what means very different things depending on who you ask. So Chelsea, I'm going to go straight to you. You had an experience today that really spoke to the word Hawaiian time, that phrase. Could you tell us in a real life scenario, without mentioning any names, what the situation was and how you, as a person who's been born and raised on the island and actually understands what Hawaiian time means to you, how that felt? Go ahead.
So Hawaiian time. We're half an hour before this thing starts. I get a phone call from a good friend and she needs to vent all her things. And I was, again, on Hawaiian time because it's a culture thing and we prioritize family and friends and, situations that come up. And that was a priority. I was 5 minutes, I think, to going live on this podcast and totally Hawaiian time. And I think, like how Kara said, it's a culture and it's a way of us prioritizing. I'm not going to say, hey, I got to go buy, click. I'm going to hear her out. I'm going to do what I need to do and say what I need to say before I say, okay, now all of that's done. I got to go. Like 5 minutes, I got to go. And then I forgot my coffee in the kitchen. So I had to go run. And then I made it here like with 1 minute to step.
So if we recap what that means to you in this instance, it's like you take the family and friends first. So that's the priority. So whatever is really truly in front of you, work is what most mainlanders or most society, not just mainlanders, but true society pushes us to prioritize work, structure, time of execution, because all of that translates to money and productivity, where you're saying that Hawaiian time to you means I'm putting family and friends, and Danielle's going to talk about food and fun, all of the good things. So that is a true testament of how the differences of what Hawaiian time means to different people. Now, it's the intention behind it, right? So some in the mainland that are driven by productivity, go, 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 they see that as possibly what? When they look at us all who prioritize family and friends, anybody pitch in. What do
I
you think?
I
Mhm.
think too, it's like, over here, for me anyway, I prioritize relationships. I
Ah.
prioritize, it is business because I sold her a house a couple of years ago. So it is business. She was my client. But, at the same time, we're building that relationship. So whenever you guys move here, we will prioritize how you doing? You got the right food? You got the right place to go before, hey, let's go buy a house.
Yeah. So you put the person first.
Right.
Mhm. Oops. Danielle, you want to pitch in, or Lonnie?
Go ahead, Danielle.
I just want to echo what you guys are saying. It really is family, friendship, just relationships over anything. And yes, if there's a corporate meeting, we might be late. There's some type of, interpersonal relationship thing going on, but our hearts are so aloha for each other and just others first, really is
Mm.
our mindset and our priorities.
I like that, others first, and that's really what needs to be understood and welcomed from that pressure of go go go. It's I wake up in the morning and I'm present with nature, with God, with what is important to you, your friends, your family, and then moving through the day with that kind of slower, more present cadence, right? And then as you're going through work, it's not so hurried. And that's what I think we're going to get into in the next examples of what we're speaking about. Miss Lonnie, what do you want to add in there?
I might have the unpopular opinion with Hawaiian time. I personally love to be on time, and it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard because the girls have great points. If it comes to family, things that we need to take care of, we prioritize those things. At the same time, we still can. I like to use the analogy like have a light switch, right? You have to learn how to turn the light switch off and on. So I
Mhm.
definitely can live in Hawaiian time if I choose to, or when I choose to. And so when it comes to business, right, because somebody is counting on me to get
Mhm.
things done for them, I might have to turn the light switch on and just say,
Mhm.
we have to stick to these timelines, we have to stick to schedules. And what helps me with that so that I can also stay not on Hawaiian time is setting expectations, right? Even with myself, it's like I only have this much time in a day. I need to prioritize because if I sit in Hawaiian time, I get nothing done, whether it be business or personal. If I sit in that Hawaiian time mode, which I do have it, like I said, I can turn the switch off and on. But for me, I personally love to stick with a game plan. Unless it's my day off, then who freaking
Then
cares,
you're more in the flow.
right? It's like I have
Totally.
nowhere to be. I have nobody to help or guide that day. It's just me. I can scroll on Netflix or I can scroll on Instagram or watch Netflix, whatever you want to do. You can be on whatever time you want to be. But
Mhm.
my opinion is you just got to learn how to turn it off and on. But if you're coming here from the mainland, it's going to be a culture shock, like the lady said, because there's a lot of people that are just like, that's not my priority right now. So I'll get there when I get there, right? Food's my priority right now, right, Danielle? It's like, I got to go find something to eat. So that's just my
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah, Hawaiian
I
time is
think
definitely a thing. And I want to add to that it's a Hawaii thing. It's not a
yes.
Hawaiian thing because I have tons of different ethnicities in my family that because they live here in Hawaii, again, Chelsea said it's a culture thing. Once you're here and you understand that and you relax and you enjoy life, and Hawaiian time or Hawaii time just kind of kicks in no matter what
I
ethnicity
love
you
that differentiation. Lonnie, that is so important that you said that, because that is an absolutely fantastic point. Here we have all sorts of culture. We have Micronesian, Polynesian, we have Haole, we have everything from everywhere, all the place. So you're absolutely right. And to put it into one specific cultural puka, it doesn't feel right. It is truly the islands that call that rhythm. And even something like in Jamaica, Jamaica has that that reggae, hey, you know, Jamaica man, it's slower. And that's kind of our feel without that accent. And we have, you know, music that puts us into that. They call it Hawaiian. So it's like that feel of, you know, reggae and relaxed. That's really important for people to understand that it's not just a cultural nuance, it's the islands. Very well said. I appreciate that.
Can I add to that, Kara?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Go
So
for it.
the past few showings that I've had, they've been, you know, people that haven't been born and raised here, the other realtors, they're the ones that show up late.
Maybe they're taking a, you know, a lot of the Hawaii time.
So that's perfect, Lonnie. That is perfectly said.
Now let's talk about the difference in between what Hawaii time is and what people some have as a misnomer of being lazy, because that is not the fact, right? Some people are just lazy and it has nothing to do with being in Hawaii or on the islands, or island time is what we should actually be calling it, because it's all the island.
Island time.
And, you know, lazy is lazy, crazy is crazy. You can't fix either one of them. So there you go. However, it's not an easy translation into a blanket statement over Hawaii time is lazy. And I think that that's one thing that we have to understand, is that it's not. And like you said, it's a mindset, it's a heart set, it's a feeling, it's a culture, it's a cadence, it's a rhythm. And you can turn it on and you can turn it off. That doesn't mean that when you come here from the mainland that you're going to deal with every single person being in Hawaii time, because there are definitely professionals, as you're looking at 4 of them right here, that are on time, they're punctual, they'll put your priorities, like Danielle said, others first. You become a priority in her ohana, in our ohana. So we want to make sure that you know that our priorities are high. Now, you might not get that in every profession, not all the time. However, please come with an open heart and an open mind that not everyone is going to be slow and dragging their feet and late to every appointment. I think because that is what the misnomer is about what that means and what that description is. And it's completely different. So does anybody want to go into what exactly you think that a tourist would think it is, or how they would see us here with that phrase, or what you think that may mean to them?
I think too, like, if you think about it, like the speed limit, the speed limit in Hawaii, I think the fastest I've seen is 65, maybe 70 on Oahu's, freeways. And in the mainland, it's 100 miles an hour. And we're still getting from point A to point B. We'll get there, but it's not going to be 100 miles an hour. It's going to be 70 miles an hour,
At the fastest. Yeah, that makes good sense. Anybody else want to pitch in?
That's so true, right? Like what Chelsea was saying, we're on an island, so you only can go so far, right? I mean, you'd probably do a donut around the island if you can, but we're not in a rush to get anywhere because we don't have much places to go. It's more of a laid back atmosphere. So Hawaii time, there's no rush, right? There's no rush. When you're here, just like when you're on vacation, you come. That's kind of like how we're living. We're in vacation mode. We're like, we don't have anywhere to run to, and we don't have far distances to drive like the mainland, right? So when you guys come, when people come to visit and relax and sightsee and things like that, right? That's what Hawaii time is.
Right.
You're feeling it when you come to visit us, right? You're just like, I have no care in the world. I get to go, I get to drive, I get to sightsee, I get to see all the ocean and the volcano and all of these great things, right? That's kind of like, that's Hawaii time, right? Yeah. That's Hawaii time. So when you're feeling that, when you come on vacation, there you go. It's Hawaii time.
That's perfect.
And to tag on to that, being that we're on an island and all of that, like, slow down, because you might run into that person that you like cut in front of, and that'll be a very awkward, uncomfortable moment. So just relax. It's okay. You'll get there.
Oh, your voice is so peaceful. I just want, can we put that on a public announcement? Relax. It's
Relax.
okay. You'll get there. Like that was so perfect. I think we need to have that in the Hawaiian Airlines when they're landing. You know, every bumper sticker, relax. Oh, that
At
felt so
the
good.
car rental companies.
Yes, that felt so good because that's the key. One of the keys of what we all see here and experience is like we know when there's an influx of a high visitor time because we see people zooming around because they're so used to it. It's not like they don't know any better, that's just what they're used to. Like Chelsea was saying, 100 miles an hour. That's what their nervous system is made for. Honk, honk, run, run, zippy, zippy in between, accidents on the poly. No, slow down. You'll get there. I love that, Danielle. So, yes, listen to her. Rewind and hit play over and over with that one. Let that be your mantra when you come here, because it's the same thing when you're driving, when you're ordering, when you're walking. People love where they live, and we want you to love where you're visiting or where you come to live. We want to embrace you, and that means that from the Aina or the island, the earth first, from nature first. And I think that that's a huge aspect of what the Hawaiian culture in total is that being on an island, the island is the nurturer, not the fast speed, money, productivity, go, 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 the grind, the skyscrapers. It's the earth. So if you think about coming from the earth first, that deeper, dense, juicy feel, it slows you down because you're like, oh, in the earth instead of up here in your head. Go, 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 go. So that's it. Get into your body, slow down, you'll get there. That's the phrase of this day. I love it.
I think too, the thing about like it's not lazy, you know, it's just like how you said, we live in Hawaii. Enjoy the journey. You're getting from, like I said, point A to point B. Enjoy the journey. Look at the, you know, we're looking at the whales jumping in the ocean. We're enjoying that, you know, ocean on this side, and boom, you got a mountain on this side.
So,
you know, so we're enjoying the journey and embracing what Hawaii has to offer to us, you know, taking it all in and not just zooming past life.
Yeah, for sure. Hawaii time puts me in this place, like we just was talking about with Danielle, right? In this just soothing, this calming, this relaxing stage. So when I turn the switch off and I'm in Hawaii time, it's my time, right? It's my time that I don't have to rush. I don't have to think so quickly. My wheels aren't turning as hard. I can just relax and enjoy. So Hawaii time is my time.
I agree. So one of the things that you said, Lonnie, is about that switch. When you're in the professional mode, you show up, you like to be early. I know that in times, if we had our way, we'd be 15 minutes, a half an hour early to everything. But sometimes traffic is an issue because we're bound by other, you know, because of that one road, right? Sometimes it takes a little bit of time.
Sure.
Being present. I think that one of the things that we can just bullet point what it means to the people that live here is an unhurried lifestyle, right? It's not built by the clock. It's more about the connection to people and the movement and the pace of the day. And then it's presence, heart presence, mind presence, presence of being really connected over punctuality. And yes, people would love to be on time all the time, or maybe they don't. I know we all do. However, we will be there 100% when we are there with you, whatever that means. And then, of course, community. We talked about that, where relationships are so critical here. And that means that we do want to ensure that the relationships that we're building with with our newfound friends are at the highest level. So punctuality is kind of important, especially in the professional world. And it's sometimes when you're not in the professional world, or you're in that non-need to grind, I guess is what you'd say, is that's where you find a lot of it. So what we ask for is to understand the respectful flexibility. That's what we're asking the people that are coming here, is to understand calmly that we ask for a little flexibility, respectful flexibility, that it's not being flaky, it's not being lazy, it's not being that we don't care about you, or that you're not important, seen, heard, and loved. It's really about the bigger picture, is that this is just a slower cadence. And there are times that people can be super A-type personality and grind. And it feels almost out of rhythm. You know, it's like if a person was beating really, really fast on a drum where all the other drums are kind of like this, then it's dissonant. It doesn't feel in rhythm. And I think that if anything, is a way to look at how Hawaii time works. It's just a rhythm. It's not chaotic. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. And just the you know, when you move here, it's about embracing that slower rhythm. You know, it's not, don't take it personal. It's not about you. It's about our lifestyle. And that's what it is. You know, when you say, don't worry about it, or, you know, we really mean it. Don't worry about it. Like, if you're going to be a minute or two late, don't worry about it. It's fine, because we'll be okay. And when you get there, we'll be clicking and in tune and right there in front of your face for you to guide you through whatever it is that we're doing at the time. If we're going to go eat dinner, if we're going to go have lunch, we will be right there present with you.
Super, super good, because I'm going to ask you all a question, and just anybody shout out your own answer. You ready? So, sisters, I want to go get some lunch, and I say what? One will be there? Yeah?
Ish.
Okay. What time do you show up? Wait, what time do you show up if I say 1?
101.
Oh, Chelsea. Okay. So on a normal, what's the time frame if I say, hey, I'll meet you at lunch for 1 on Hawaii time?
Oh, there's at least a 30-minute gap.
That's it.
There's at least a 30-minute differential, right?
Grace.
Same things like with parties. You know, the party starts at 5:30. Everybody shows up at 7, and it's just like, I'm not sure if they think, well, poo-poos will be done, prayers will be done, line will be shorter. I don't know what it is, but they tend to show up a couple hours later, and so and we know it all too well. I mean, that's how parties are. Right? Hey, starts at this time. They show up later.
That's why you got to say an hour and a half earlier if you want them on time. So remember that, an hour and a half earlier. And if they show up early, then be like, oh.
Yeah.
And if they show up on time, then it's like, yeah, because they're rolling in an hour, hour and a half. Yeah.
Sure.
So that's a really big thing, is to give yourself an understanding that when you hire somebody for a job, or you're going to meet somebody for a place, don't take it personally. Chelsea said it perfectly. She's like, we embrace the no worries. Like, if you sat there and worried, then you're going to stress yourself out, because, you know, life happens and it's just no thing. And you have to be really open to that. And when they're not open to it, then that causes a little stress. And, you know, that's when it's not very great. But again,
I noticed with like vendors, right? Or companies, right? If you need something installed, or internet providers coming, or whatever the case is, they always give you a time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never tell you we'll be there at 2 p.m. They'll say we'll be there between 2 and 5, or they'll give you that range, because again, things happen. And yes, we're on an island. There's other people on the island that are on island time that might hold up the process of them getting to the service area. So they'll give you that window, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be there between this time and this time. And so at least you know, right? I don't have to be there at 2, but possibly between those times. And then that's where communication comes in. You just say, hey, text me when you get here, or text me when you're half an hour out, you know, please, so that you can be a little bit more prepared. But communication is always huge in any kind of aspect. So Hawaiian time or not, just communicate, and you just ask, right? Okay, you said 2 to 5. Can you text me half an hour before you get there? Yeah.
You nailed it. You nailed it with the communication piece. That's it. I think that if anything is true in professionalism, that when you have an objective and you're not here just for vacation, anything that you're trying to get done in a professional manner, whether it's buying a house or if you're looking to build a house or go shopping, anything that you're doing, it's important to know that you are in charge of you. Yay! Easy job. So that means that if you need to be communicated with by that person, then you set the expectation with them. You mentioned that earlier about setting expectations, Lonnie. You set the expectation like, I need to know 15 minutes before you're here. And if you're going to be late, tell me so I can prepare or shift or move or do whatever. And then you're taking responsibility for your need for communication, because it might not be a thing on the other person's side. Like, hey, I get there when I get there. And it's just not a thing. But if you need that, then own that and speak that, because then you're in control of what you can control and not stress so much. And then pray. If they're really, really late, then pray, because maybe it's not lazy. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's grace to be given. Grace, and more grace, and grace abundantly is the way I look at it. It's like if we can have an opportunity to give grace to people instead of condemnation and stress, then everybody wins. Again, and I think my soapbox.
And I think grace is part of Hawaii time, right? It should be part of Hawaii time, because like Chelsea said, hey, maybe a family member really needed some attention or needed some help, or a client, right, that just kind of went a little over because they needed a little bit more, so you have to give a little bit of grace. It's not that we don't want to show up for you, but I'm sure if Chelsea was going to be late, she's going to communicate that with the next person, right? And so it just plays in both ways. Like grace should be part of Hawaii time. It's not that we're doing it intentionally. Things happen. We don't move as fast as you. And like Kara said, you only can control what you can control. So you can't control other people. You can't control, the weather. So control what you can and just accept and give grace.
Yay. Okay, we're done here. No.
I also add, so I love that we're talking about Hawaiian time, but I can say as a fact, all these ladies are early and punctual, and like they are beasts with their clients. So we can talk about Hawaii time, but for us professionals here, we get it, we understand, we will give you grace, but we are usually early. Chelsea and Kara for sure, and Lonnie, when she comes to Maui, she flies and she's there early. So just so it's said.
You are so awesome. Thank you for the pitch, and we pitch you right back, because it's true. That's what we were talking about. The whole professional world, you have a choice, just like those other people have a choice to control what they can control. Lonnie, you said it well. When the switch is on, that's all of us. We're on. And I have to tell you, I come from New York, like fast. fast. So when I went from New York to California, and then I looked over the ocean and I came over here, I like, oh, I need to slow down. I was so fast. Oh my gosh. I was so fast, because I'm like a hyper happy puppy. So I wanted to talk to everybody and I'm like, like I can't do the pigeon. Sorry, I cannot. But they were like, chill, and it was hard for me to chill for a minute until I really started laying on the beach and looking at the clouds and jumping in the ocean and listening to the songs and climbing the mountains and feeling the earth. And all of that anxiety in me, all of that fast-paced rhythm, my heartbeat, my DNA shifted, because I've been here, and the island, thank goodness, after almost 22 years now, has accepted me, and we're all we're all family. So I beat with the rhythm of the island instead of being a neurotic New Yorker. So that was really good. Whew. So
Well, I
I'm
was
testimony that it can change.
born and raised on Oahu, and Oahu to the Big Island, night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day, right?
City.
On Oahu, faster pace, a lot more business, things like that. You definitely have your choice to unwind and relax and have that downtime. But the Oahu lifestyle is just go, go, go. If you have kids, you're at the fields, you're at the soccer, you're at the baseball. Every weekend is jam-packed. You got graduation season. It's just go, 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 go. And then you come to the Big Island, and then same thing like Kara, you just kind of like, whoa, there's not much to do here. And it's more of a relaxing state. There's go to the beach or go to the mountains. So you really had to, and that's where I learned the light switch too, right? Was growing up in Oahu and then coming to the Big Island and learning that there's a different pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can always turn that light switch off and on. And I was born and raised to, if you're on time, you're late. If you're on time, you're late.
You need
right?
to be 15 minutes ahead.
On time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another thing that you can factor in is how were you raised? That's just how I was raised. But no lie, as the older we get, I love the downtime. I love the relax. I love the downtime. But if I need to kick it back on, I turn the light switch on.
I love it. Well, I do know that there is a question. So some of the people had questions that they wrote in ahead of time. Is obviously we talked about what is Hawaiian time exactly. I think we clarified that. But here's another one. Well, I guess we clarified that one too. Is everyone late? The answer is no. So please don't come with that expectation. No. All right. Those blanket statements, they don't work well for anybody. Okay. So how does it affect daily life, appointments, contractors, and business? We kind of lightly touched on that. Mm-hmm. Because we're in the profession of real estate, ladies, who do you think, which business is a number one Hawaiian time offender? Are we going to call it out?
Ooh.
Who do you find to be the most Hawaiian time in our industry? Oh, nobody wants to say anything. I love it. You girls are so good.
I'm trying to think. You know what? Sarah, in all fairness, our team that we build for our clients are freaking amazing. So I can't speak to it just yet because luckily we haven't had to experience too much of Hawaiian time vendors or contractors or things. So I'm really have to think about this one.
I love that because in the Big Island, you obviously have expanded not just from the real estate side, but all of the vendors that go with the total support of a client. I think from my perspective here on Maui, we've had some struggles with contractors. And that would be the position that was a little bit of a Hawaiian time issue, like days, 3 days, 3 weeks, but maybe that's the New Yorker in me going, come on, there's an hour and a half grace, and more grace. But then when it gets to 3 weeks, I'm like, okay, where's there a tap out place? When does it get to be too far into the grace? So how would you speak to people that need to get something done and they're not getting it completed in a timely manner? What would you say is a good pivot for them? Not just accept it, right?
No, but like we touched on this the whole time we were talking story, right? Is you're in a different environment, you're in a different world basically when you come from the mainland and you have an umpteen amount of contractors maybe to choose from. Maybe you come to the island, we're so much smaller, we have maybe not as many resources. I'd like to, on the side of grace, give them the benefit of the doubt saying, great, you guys are busy, that's why you guys are having a hard time getting to me, or it might take longer because you guys are successful. You guys, that kind of tells me something too. Maybe I want to wait for your efforts, right? I
love your paradigm shift. That's amazing.
So that's the grace part of it. right? You cannot just come straight out the gates blazing and just saying, oh my God, you guys take too long because you guys are in Hawaii. And
Right.
that's not the case. We're so much smaller. We have a smaller pool of contractors and plumbers and things. Although we feel we have an abundance of them, but there's a lot of jobs to go around. So sometimes you just have to have that grace and say, maybe they're successful and they're busy and they're pumping out jobs and they're doing great, that, you know, you might have to just either not settle, but go and see if there's another secondary or a third person that you can call to get some help if you need it right away. So
It's like Disneyland, right? The best ride has the longest lines.
Who?
Yeah. The best rides have
Disneyland.
long.
Oh, that's right. Oh, see, that's a secondary backup to that perspective shift. Okay, so now we have Danielle's awesome bomb of go slowly, you'll get there. And then we have the, you know what? They're not late. They're just that good. I love it. That is a great perspective shift. So again, it is about grace and stepping into that. So that's awesome. Let me see if there's another one. Will I get frustrated if I'm used to mainland pace? Danielle, why don't you take this one?
Will you get frustrated if you're used to mainland pace?
Yeah, this is a question. Mhm.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's why you need to prepare yourself and know that you need to relax. Just relax. Like in regards to contractors, though, you need to expect a delay because shipping, if you're like doing a whole gutting of your house, you're gonna have to expect delays with delivery of what's coming in. I mean, you need to prepare yourself.
You open my eyes, both of you, to the concept of it's not just the time, it's the fact about we are on an island that has resource variance from the mainland. So if you are in this industry and you're looking to build or buy or do or change or have construction of any concept, yeah, that's a really important piece because it does take longer to get here and it does take more time because of the limited resources. So that's a good point to really hone in on, to think about that before you come here. I said, this is not a resource abundant, overly abundant like the mainland is, where anything can get there in a day and a half, where it takes time, especially with shipping. That was a good point, Danielle. Thank you. All right. So how do locals feel about the feeling of Hawaiian time versus transplants? So I think we covered that. Did we? Yeah. You want to dig into that any more or no? The differences in between. Nothing?
Not real. Not really. I mean, we just talked about it. It's
Okay.
our culture, it's our lifestyle, it's how we're accustomed to. And then for a transplant coming in, like Danielle mentioned, you have to learn, right? So it's either you learn and you adapt, or it's okay if you stay where you're at, because to each his own. If you choose to, that's totally fine. But you have to have grace on that end as well, and not try to change whoever you come in contact with, right? So I think Chelsea had mentioned it earlier, where the phrase is no worries. So if you want to stay, go, mainland mentality, great, do you. But don't try to change when you get here anyone that's around you. You have to just kind of find your environment where you feel great, where you feel the most yourself. And so if somebody is coming across your path that's Hawaii time, you have to learn that no worries, because that's you. I'm doing me, you doing you. Just cross my path, we'll go. And I think you guys would just be fine, totally fine. So you don't have to change when you get here. You don't have to adapt, but don't expect anybody else to change to adapt to you.
Right. That's another really good point. Yeah, and we're having some good psychological conversations here too. We love it. We hope that you're enjoying this deep conversation about this, because this is a great first initial step. you know, you think about all the things that you're looking for online about what's Hawaii about, where am I wanting to live, what are the neighborhoods, what's the cultural cadence in any island versus another island. This is something that goes across all islands, that it's important for you to take this basic step of to know who you are, where you're at in your own energy and your needs and desires of how to function through life before you come here, any of the islands, because you're going to be met with this. So I think that this is a really good basic step one. Then all of the other great information that Living in Hawaii show provides, right? This is one of the basics. So the other thing is we talk about patience and flexibility into the schedule. We've talked about on other shows about putting that in when you're driving somewhere. So when you're talking about the Hawaiian time, you know, driving, we want to make sure that we're not running late. So you still don't see people speeding. They're still cruising, getting there. But we want to also let you know to pack in extra time for you to get to places because of that. So it's, again, building your lifestyle around more flow and flexibility. And that comes from the inside out, I think. And that's really what it's all about.
You know, what the question that comes to my mind is, like, on the mainland, like for us, if we see auntie, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, cousin in the store, we're gonna stop, we're gonna hug, talk story. Oh, how's Joey doing? How's the kids? We get all of those updates. Do they do that on the mainland in the stores when they see each other?
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's a full-on 20-minute talk story, because I've seen some people that I know, it's like, hey, it's more isolated. And I'm just speaking from my personal experience, that it's, you could talk to your close friends, but if you're like, hey, you know, I know you, but I'm not going to stop because I got something to do. It's more about what the objective is. It feels more about that and not so much about, I have all the time in the world. We talked about presence before, right? Here, like you said, it's about being with the relationship, the person. We're there. It's, I don't, and I'm not saying this against all places, all people, but I do believe that there's a little bit more of a variance of just sitting and talking story. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So let us know. Let us know in the comments if you feel that that's true, or if there's another place on the mainland that it totally embraces this Hawaii time feeling, or, you know, the Jamaica time, the island time, because
I've definitely visited. I haven't been to many places on the mainland, but the places that I had the pleasure of visiting. So my aunt lives in Oregon, and she's like in the outskirts. Like, I mean, like a couple hours away, right, from the airport. But when I went to visit her and her town, it kind of had that, where they stop and they talk and they just catch up, even though they see each other all the time, but they still have that, you know, camaraderie, and they get to talk story. And even when we had a gathering, because it was for her 50th birthday, is when we went to visit her. And even her, you know, her family and friends there was just like, we'll get there. We're almost there. You know, there was no rush to get there at 5 o'clock, or, you know, so they kind of had a island time feel,
an island time feel
in that little portion of Oregon, you know. So like I said, I visited some places in the mainland, and I've seen it, you know, where people just kind of stop on the side. They get to talk story, they catch up and things like that. They're not so much in a rush, but I think it just depends on what the situation is, or what they have going on that day. It could just be that day, or that's just how they are. So I've seen it across the United States as well. It's not an island time. It's not a Hawaii thing. It's I think, like you guys said, it's an inner thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's an inner thing. So if that's how you are, great. If
that's what you're going to bring everywhere you are.
You're going to bring your energy, and you're going to talk story, and you guys going to have these 30-minute conversations, and you have one tomato in your hand, and you're like, shoot, I still got to get the rest of my grocery list. And it's like, dinner's already done,
So does that mean that we have an island full of extroverts that just love to talk? Because maybe that's it.
Your vibe attracts your tribe, right?
That's
We say
it,
that all the time. So if you coming in, find your tribe. You're gonna fit right in, and you're gonna feel great in Hawaii, and you get to enjoy all that Hawaii gives you, and you still feel, however you want to feel.
I loved yesterday. Yesterday there was a moment. Chelsea and I were doing some work out of the back of our trunk. God, that sounds so fun, huh? No, we were putting some open house signs together. We were putting some open house signs together. No big thing, no drama. But there's this sweet older gentleman that came up and we didn't know him. And he's like, hey, just because he saw what we were doing, he came over and they talked for like 10 minutes, just shooting the you know what. And I'm sitting there going, as they're just like pigeoning out together and having fun. And I'm like, I don't know what you just said, but I'm just going to smile. So it was really fun. And that's really what the island is about. Everybody is your friend if you're open to it. Everybody is your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, if you're open to it. And if you walk with your head up and your heart open and your eyes bright, then everybody's like, hey, family. And I think that's a huge difference to a lot of the places is that, like you said, Lonnie, there's places on the mainland that we can call Mayberry that are very much that family feel. And then there's some places that are more maybe like Oahu, that city, grind, go. And they're focused on their own objective. And they're not so much externally focused of helping their neighbor or helping a person across the street or, just it's not their flow. I'm really excited to see that everybody that I've seen here on island, minus maybe a couple in my 22 years, I'd say maybe a handful of people that aren't so no. But mostly everybody's like, hey, talk story. My daughter always says, gosh, Mom, can we go anywhere without you making a new best friend? And I'm like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
No.
So do you find that to be true everywhere you go, no matter what? It's like even on the mainland, you bring the Aloha feel there. And that's the relationships.
Yeah. My guess would be Oregon and Las Vegas have a lot of Hawaiian people. My sister owns 3 different homes in Oregon and different cities. And to me, we speak like once a week and she always has some type of story. She met so-and-so at the store and It's like, oh, I love that. But my guess would be Las Vegas. I've never been there, but my guess would be that's our 9th island, right? So it has to be Aloha.
Yeah,
there's a lot of transition on the strip.
When we went to Alaska, it was kind of the same feel because, and you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's just because it's that smaller town, because the one place we went to Alaska, there's like 1,000 people in that town, and it was the same. And it's funny because we brought Hawaiian chocolates and we gave to all the people who helped us out. And the guy's face just lit up. And he's like, oh, you're from Hawaii. I didn't even tell him yet. I'm like, oh, here, this is for you. He's like, Hawaii people always bring us stuff. Always bring us food. And he's like, Hawaii people are so cool.
Yay!
I think, it's just that. And there's so many Hawaii people that live there, too, in Alaska. And so I think that, Lani's right. Like it's already in us. It's what we grew up with. And then it's spreading around, this lifestyle of enjoying life, not just life like this, but life like this.
Ooh, out of the box. So not enjoying life in a structured box or a time frame. It's just in the flow, open. So luau's, dinner parties, anything, any get together just starts and stops whenever the heck it wants to, right? There's it starts at 5 o'clock and ends at 9 o'clock. It's just like, what? Right? So that's a big thing. And just having more of that flow all across.
Yeah, because he mentioned too, like, oh yeah, like he would mention the same things like, oh, don't speed around here because you'll get through the town in 2 seconds, or don't. And they live in that relaxed lifestyle too, in a smaller town.
That does have a big thing. You're right. There is a lot of small towns across America that I think embrace that same.
Yeah.
I'm your neighbor. You're my family.
Right.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's the bigger cities, right? It's the bigger cities, the more towns, and concrete jungles out there on the mainland. That when they come, that's where most of the adjustment has to come from. But you see, if, like you said, if they're coming from a small town in Oregon or a small town in the outskirts of wherever they come from, they're going to be
sharing recipes,
right? Yeah, they're going to be accustomed to that already. That's why I think that's why more so they navigate this way, right? They gravitate to us because they're like, oh, it's just like us. It's like Alaska. Many people from Alaska come this way, and they're just like, oh, it's just like our lifestyle there, right? But the weather is better most of the year, right? Yes, so that's
true.
Why they come, but and they fit right in. It's kind of like they just keep rolling, because there's not much adjustment they have to make. It's just when you come from the bigger towns, the bigger cities. I mean, obviously, if you're moving from that, there's a reason why you're coming to Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah, you need it. Your soul's calling you here. Yeah. Yes. Whether you know it or not, you need to chill out, people. Yeah. You need to take Danielle's advice and
relax
slowly. Oh, I love your voice.
So I have one of my children. He's 25 and he lives in Austin, Texas. He just moved there. And I was so nervous because, you hear things about mainland people. And he's like, I love it, Mom. I love it. We love it over here. People are so nice. But I feel like what Lonnie's saying is, okay, yes, people come here because of it, but people can go to the mainland and spread the aloha. And he's connected with so many professionals in what he's doing, and they're just so welcoming to him. But I feel that they're reflecting what he's giving, which is aloha, right? So I think it works both ways, and we're so blessed.
Nice. Yeah.
I love that. You nailed something about reflecting what you're giving. So this is a piece of advice as well to people that are coming here, that it's not just about time. It's the spirit in which you speak. So if you're speaking with, oh, they're late, or why didn't you get my order in on time, with that kind of aggressive, rude, focusing on the inefficiencies of somebody, or the inefficient expectations, or not getting there on time, or being hypercritical, when you're putting that out, that ripples. And when people are so used to being in the aloha state, giving, and if you're coming at them with that aggressive, pushy, condemning attitude, then you're probably not going to get that back, but you probably won't get the total level of aloha feel that you would get naturally, because that's repelling. So be careful. I'm not going to tell you that you should do anything, but be careful and be mindful of that kind of a feel, because when you come here, and I've seen it, I've seen people that have come here and been so hypercritical. One of my favorites was when I used to work at the Hyatt, and somebody complained about there being flies at the luau.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And there was too many carrots in the fried rice, and they went ballistic. I have to giggle only because it's like we talked about priorities, about friends and family and relationships, and it's like, oh, honey, we want to bless you, and this is a little bit too much turmoil inside of your own self. So let the island heal you. Go take a swim. So it is about not just about the timing, but about what you bring energetically to the day or the time that you're here. All right. So bonus Hawaiian phrases for people to know. Chelsea, you nailed one earlier. So why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about what that means again, and we'll wrap it up as a quick bonus round.
Yeah. So I talked about no worries. It's like if you're gonna be late, No worries. If I'm gonna bleed, hopefully you can reciprocate the no worries. And so it's not about being lazy. It's not about not caring. It's about no worries, relax. Like, we're gonna get there. Like all the things that we said earlier. It's about that. And I think too, like, it's how we said, like, it's a different mindset. Like, time is money, and productivity, and people value productivity. Like, for over here, our time means our presence, and our value is our connection. So, two different things, but and all different meanings. And yeah, no worries.
About a thing, cause every little thing's
We're
gonna
gonna
be
get there.
all right. Da, 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 da. Yes, music is important. You knew I was going to have to sing, Miss Danielle. You knew it.
I
All
was
right.
just about to jump in with you.
I knew, and I was just going to end it there because I could have sang the whole dang song, and then they'd be like, "Why is she singing?" I can't help it. I'm a living jukebox. All right.
I think
So
you could end it there because I mean Chelsea just hit that right on the head.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
was a beautiful mic drop moment.
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah. And no worries is in my daily vocabulary too. I mean, it is because that's just what happens when you're here, right? Things happen.
Mhm.
You have no control over. Hey, no worries. If you worry about it, you're just gonna grow old and
Yeah.
stress about it. And nobody has time for that. We have time to enjoy life and relax and enjoy Hawaii and all it has to give. So I
Mhm.
mean, no sense worry about things, right? You can't take it back. So it's done. What's done is done. No worries.
Yeah,
So
no worries, and talk story, right? So we want to teach them about talk story.
we love talk story. That's what we do all day, right? We could do this literally all day, ladies, right? It's just talk story about things. And talk story is just really enjoying each other's company, just learning about culture, learning about people, learning about your neighbors, learning about yourself.
Hmm.
So when you talk story, you might share a piece of your history with someone else, and then you hear it out loud and you're like, well, I don't want to do that again. I want to change something, or I want to do something differently, or I want to add to my life. That's why I'm here in Hawaii. So
Aw,
talk story is super powerful, right? Communication is key. Talk
Mhm.
story.
So, in
absolutely.
regards to talking story and adding to your life, may I put a little plug for two local artists that have been traveling around the U.S. performing, and it's Tumua. He's a local comedian. He's hilarious, and he talks story jokes about the culture, our culture, and our different cities on each island. He's so funny. I think I just saw a show of his in Oregon. He's going to like Kansas City, Arkansas. Like, I'm not sure where he's at now, like literally this week, but he is so funny. And that is what we do when we get together us locals is we love not just to talk story, but crack each other up with jokes and
Mhm.
just pull off of each other because laughter is so healing. And another artist that's also traveling, I'm not sure where he is now in the US, Maoli, and his music just encapsulates our culture, the way he dresses, and when he talks story at his shows, it's just so beautiful. And I think he's popular, maybe probably worldwide. But just to put a little plug with a couple of our local artists traveling around the US right now.
That
Nice.
was beautiful, Danielle. Thank you, because it's important to reach out. And we talked about the rhythm of the islands, and there's nothing more important than having music and mele and the laughter. And I have to put a plug in for Miss Danielle Harris as being the number one best laughter on the planet. Get her laughing. Come here, meet her. You will
I'm trying
feel
to.
elevated. She's all professional and all like soft spoken here, but you let that girl rip and she is like, and I love it. Her laughter's healing. She is gifted by the grace of God with this massive laughter that is truly transcending and healing. So come meet her. She may not be on the road with Tamua, but she should be. So there you go. That's a plug for you, Miss Danielle. Calling her right out on the spot for all your awesomeness.
Am I blushing?
Oh, totally. So we talked about a couple words. We have no worries, talk story. Now we're coming to the end a little bit late because that's how we do. So we are going to what? Pauhana. Let's talk about that. What is Pauhana?
That's a loaded phrase. And
And it could be a loaded phrase. So come on.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Add happy hour.
Phrase.
Add happy hour to that. That's a universal, right?
Yep.
So pauhana, happy hour. Pauhana, happy hour. So pauhana is finish work, right? We're done with work. We're done with whatever it is that we had to do for the day. And now we just get to do whatever we want to. Pauhana usually ends up somewhere at a bar or get a little nightcap in, or just debrief from from the day, right? Get to relax
Or
and enjoy.
someone's garage and karaoke or kanikapila.
Somebody's backyard and just enjoy. Usually got some poo-poos on the side, right?
So some grill.
Yeah.
Yep. Got some grill and just grill and chill. It's a lot of done. Yep.
Yeah. And pauhana happens even when you don't work. We can anytime you like.
It's the end of the day.
You call it the yard work, you pauhana. You go whatever time it is, right?
now you enjoy that yard that you just mowed.
That's right. Yeah. That's it.
So last one is akamai. When you are akamai,
you gotta be smart about things, right? You just gotta you're so smart, right? Because you did your due diligence before you got to Hawaii. You jumped on living in Hawaii. You're so akamai because you're getting all of this great valuable information before you decide to make that huge move over to Hawaii. And that's it. You want to be akamai anywhere you go, in anything you do. You want to do your due diligence. So you guys are so akamai for being here today.
Yay. On that beautiful note, we hope that we gave you insight. Ladies, do you have anything else you want to say to give the last final push of information to these wonderful viewers?
Be akamai. Call us if you have questions.
That's it. We're here for you.
Tune in again next week.
And come see Danielle on her comedy tour. And her professionalism. Thank you all so much, ladies. Thank you all for joining us for Insight of Hawaii, not Hawaiian, Hawaii Time. And we hope that you all had a lot of information. You had a few laughs and a lot of great calming attributes to welcome you to Maui. We thank you so much for being here today, and aloha. Aloha, ladies.